Can I talk now? Can y'all guess what these are? Leave a comment below and tell me if you know what these birds are. Hey y'all, it's Molly with Minnie Acres, and we're gonna do a garden update for March. It feels like it was just yesterday that I did a full farm and garden tour for February, and here we are, it's the end of March, and so much has changed so quickly, so let's go look at the garden. All right, let's see what is going on over here. You can see I propped a piece of cattle panel in place of where I need to put a gate, and I was using some string to sort of outline where the fence will be. I just realized the air conditioner is running behind me and it's super windy. You might not be able to hear me at all. Hey bub. I was pulling some weeds and I pulled out, I had made a really cute little fence by taking some branches, soft branches off of little trees or weeds and folding them over and making little arches, and it made a really cute little fence, and it lasted about 5 minutes, but it was cute while it lasted. So now I need to put something here more permanent. It didn't help at all to keep the dogs out. Oh, butterfly, where are you going? No! No! Oh no! Run, butterfly! That was scary. Okay, let's go in here. I really don't want y'all to be witness to Duke's first kill on video. Okay, so inside the string, this is where I want my cottage garden. And like that whole corner area, part of that is where our septic is. You can see where stuff's been dug up because we've been having some problems with our septic, which is fun. So over here, I would just want flowers that have shallow roots because I wouldn't want anything growing down into the septic lines. Excuse me, sir. To mess up the septic lines thing, right? And you see I put my fern out over here. Oh, let's go look at and the weeds are excited about the change in the weather. And what do we have here? The hydrangeas that I moved, I split a hydrangea up and moved it, and it was Mrs. Milkshake's fault. Mrs. Milkshake from I Kill Pretty Things. And so it's her fault that I finally dug these guys up and moved them over here, and they're really happy. This is a sort of shady spot, a little bit wet. They're happy here. I haven't cleaned up this side, but one day this will be a nice after shot. In a matter of minutes, it feels like, all of this stuff has just doubled in size. My lemongrass, though, there's still no signs of life. I'm not giving up hope. And the orange mint, the lemon balm, the pineapple sage does not look like it's coming back. But there's a lot of stuff inside that I think I'm gonna stuff into this spot. For one thing, I think it'll help to keep down the weeds if I just fill it. I don't even care if I just fill it full of mint, just to keep the weeds out, and also because the chickens keep breaking out and coming in here and scratching up my leaves, making a mess, and I just want to just stuff this with plants. My lemon tree is covered in blooms. It smells so nice in here. I just realized I have a box of seeds over there that wants to be planted. The cassia, I need to let it get out in the sun for a little bit before I move it out, and I don't know if I'm gonna leave it in this bucket or if I'm gonna put it back in the ground again. I don't know what I want to do. I am 99% sure that these pepper plants did not make it over winter. There is no green on them. There is a green lizard. Hey buddy. And this lemon tree, he looks sad. I need to tend to him and maybe put him outside too, because the weather is warm enough now that they can go outside. I'm really proud of my redneck ingenuity. The spout broke, but I used some tin foil and poked holes in it, and it works just fine. These are some things that I dug up before I planted the strawberries, and I put them here in the shade. And the nasturtium, that's the healthiest I've ever managed to grow, nasturtium. They usually shrivel up. They're very small. So I'm excited to I'm just gonna leave it there and let it be happy. And some rainbow chard. And what are you? This is cauliflower. Why are you so mean? This is wild pear. I don't remember where my husband got it, but we'll just say he got it in the woods. He brought home a couple of pears, and I pulled the seeds out, and there's 3 little sprouts coming up that I just moved them out so they could start getting some sun. They look pretty happy, but they might need their own pots now. Oh boy, listen. Do you need a tomato plant? Come on over and have some. This mulberry is really happy. They are just perking up like crazy. My fig is perking up like crazy. And that pecan that I planted, I thought it died, but it started to come back alive. So I brought it out here. And that is a serviceberry tree. I started to put him in the ground, but then I thought he's kind of puny. So I think that was thunder. Uh-oh. Wait, let me finish my tour. So I put him in a pot because I thought maybe I should baby him this year before I put him out. So that's a bag of trash. My potatoes. I have stuffed some leaf and grass mulch in there and rolled them up. And I hope that was the right thing to do. They seem happy. Some tarps that I folded up. I've been trying to get some stuff cleaned up out here. This doesn't look much different than it did before. I do see some weed seeds. That little ginger is twice as big as it was the other day. The mulberries, whatever was on them earlier, these little fuzzy things. Let's see if I can find one. These little guys, my hands are dirty. Anyway, these little guys all got blown off in the storm, so I don't know if that means they won't make berries. My crazy oregano bed, and did y'all tell me, is that thyme or is it a different kind of oregano? They smell kind of the same. This might be an echinacea and it might be a weed. My edible flower mix that came from Little Shop of Seeds, it's coming up like gangbusters. I just threw the whole pack down. And I see one thing is a nasturtium. That's the only thing I recognize. And then I put some zinnias down here. What kind of zinnias are these? Let's look. Oh, it just says zinnia mix. Okay. I was pulling weeds over here, clearing a spot and getting ready. I still need to put some fresh compost down before I put anything here, but I think I will put, so I have some rosemary that my cousin gave me. I'm trying to root because I had a rosemary here and he lived here happily for like 3 years, and I moved him over where my other herb bed is because I thought I want all of my perennials to be over there, and then he immediately died. So I'm gonna try to plant another one probably here and just let it have its own corner. Oh, okay. My asparagus are really happy and look like they're already going to be putting on their little flowers. You see their flowers? It's probably not focused. And the tomatoes. Oh, look! There's the label. Alright, well, we hope that's the right one. We're going to stick that back where it was. I got these giant popsicle sticks at the Dollar General, and I know that they won't last, but I couldn't get my marker to work well on the forks and spoons, and I was running out of these guys, and look, that's already wiped off. So here's my pineapple. So now I don't know between these two, I don't know which one is the Boxcar Willie or which one's the Gardener's Delight. Let's just stick this like this, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, but everybody looks healthy. I came through and I pulled my turnips, and and I was really surprised at how many I had. There was the one that's like a baseball size, and then there was a handful of smaller ones. Then this is going to seed, or flower, and I just decided to leave this here again because I wanted something blooming for the bees and the butterflies. And then like, I think that's a radish, and it didn't make a radish, it just is making lots of flowers. So I just decided to leave it alone too. My little sad carrots. A little bit of lettuce still that I haven't pulled up, and again I was just pulling it up instead of cutting it because I'm just trying to make room to plant more stuff in here, even though I probably should have left it because now the weeds are taking over instead. Let's go over here. Yay! Happy birthday! My Armenian cucumbers. I was afraid they were not going to come up. So I decided to do on this arbor, and then on the other side I have my market more, and they have been up for a couple of days because last year, let me stand back here. Last year on this arch is where I tried to grow my loofah, and I think it had too much shade. So I'm gonna grow my loofah in full sun. There is a bee close to me watching me. I'm gonna try that in full sun instead, because the first year I grew it, I had really good success growing it in full sun. And I had just thought it would be pretty on this arbor, but apparently this arbor makes a lot of shade. But the cucumbers will be happier with a little bit more shade, right? The cucumbers, oh, the the beans have sprouted. I think I showed y'all these the other day, and it looks like they are fully sprouted. That's awesome. Let's pull some weeds. Come here. One weed I can always identify is this guy. This is bindweed. It is in the morning glory family. It makes beautiful flowers, but if you leave this, it will choke all of your other plants while laughing at you while you cry. So I have no mercy. Come here. So it looks like my queen lime blush zinnias are popping. And what beans are these? These are Romano bush beans. Yay! I need to put something all down here. Here, let's go this way. I need to try to stay organized. My cherry tomatoes, they just look really happy. I'm so impressed. My one little berry crazy cherry, I've got some marigolds coming up in between them. I want to put some basil out here in between them. I'm not sure what that is, but it doesn't look like a weed, so I'm going to let it go and just see what happens. Oh, get out of here. This tiny little, what are you? My little sweet pea currant, it's trying to pull through. I really hope the weather stays nice. There are ants in here. I really hope the weather stays nice for me to actually get just something. Just get something off of here. Pull these weeds. That is a weed. This one has already made it up to the string. What is that? A yellow pear. And I've been trying to be careful about going ahead and see where this has been touching the dirt and it looks kind of sad. I go ahead and pinch that off. But remember, I did find my scissors. I need to keep them in my pocket so that I don't hurt the plants whenever I do that. But you still want to make sure they have enough leaves to photosynthesize. Hopefully we're going to get some more compost this weekend so I can fill in the squares and finish off that bed, and then it is going to be all like Donkey Kong. I have so much stuff I want to plant. German chamomile. I hope that makes. Look, see, there's another one. I don't know what that is. Over here, we cleared out a stack of lumber that I had just been using for different projects, and it left a nice open spot. And I think what I'm going to do for now, I was going to plant the serviceberry tree over here, but I think for now I'm just gonna plant this full of sunflowers, and it's gonna be amazing because I have so many sunflower seeds. I'm just gonna absolutely throw them all in this spot and just have a wild sunflower patch. Can you see? I took the cattle panels that I had been using for Fred's pen, and I just made them into more arches. So now I have an arch at the end and in the middle, and then I don't have another one going this way at that end because the 3 that I have going there, if I put a 4th one there, I wouldn't be able to access the bed very well, and so I just decided to not put one in the middle. I might change my mind next year, who knows, but they're all kind of wonky and janky and whatever. That's my style. And when they're covered in vines and glorious, you won't be able to tell. Some Boston pickling cucumbers. I only see a few coming up. Here you are. Come here. Blue Lake bush beans. There's a few that have come up. Oh, and look, the Henderson lima beans are starting to come up too. That's good. Weeds. Get off of there. And then homemade cucumbers are coming up. I had tried to grow my last little mouse melon seeds, and I see no germination at all. But that's okay. Add that to the list of things that I will buy seeds for my fall garden. I don't see anything coming up in the Love in a Mist. My Lemon Queen sunflowers have popped up. Something keeps eating the leaves. What is this? Fernleaf dill. I don't see anything coming up. But I think my dill in the other bed was coming up. And broomcorn. That's coming up. That is a weed. Get it out. I don't see anything for my Gloriosa daisies. My Dr. Witchies looks happy. Ooh, he's already, look at you. They're already climbing. That Jubilee's already almost ready to be staked. That's a weed. Triple crop. Okay, so all of these tomatoes seem to have just absolutely exploded. Marigolds in between. Look at that big one. Come here. You are not allowed to live here. And I came out the other day and did just a little bit of pinching the suckers off of the little armpits. Can you see that tiny little sucker? Because when they're really, really tiny, it's easy to pinch them and not hurt the plant. Get out of here. Weed. Paul Robeson, he looks happy. I don't know if that is my echinacea coming up or not. Zinnias, more cut and come again zinnias. Tetradill. See? Ooh, look at all that. I hope all of that dill comes up. I've always wanted to grow dill for the swallowtail butterflies more than anything. More than even just to use it and eat it. I wanted to attract the butterflies. We usually only get like a couple of those butterflies a year. Let's see. Straight 8 cucumber. Looks like I have a few of those. Tons of tiny little flowers. These little weeds. But they make the butterflies and the bees happy. I see one blueberry bush. I don't know what these varieties are for these blueberries. But this might be the first year that we get more than like a handful of blueberries off of each bush. Started an ant war. Yes, I did. Get out of my blueberries. A roll of chicken wire. That's always fun to work with. Look how pretty. Look, that's prettier from this side. Okay, so I've been cleaning up out here. This is where Fred was with Ruby and Lucille, and they're all dead. And now I'm just, unless my husband can build me a really well fortified chicken tractor, I'm just not going to have chickens out here because the dogs and the mule cannot get out here. So coyotes, which we've been hearing lately in the woods closer to our house than we've ever heard them, and possums and coons and other critters that like to kill chickens can get in here, and the dogs can't get into here to stop them, and the mule can't get in here. And so unless I can get something more fortified, I'm giving up on my plans to have chickens fix this area for me. It's just, I can't. I don't even want to think about it. I'm going to pull some of these weeds, and the same thing that I'm doing with the sunflowers over by the fence, I'm going to use a bunch of my zinnia seeds and just fill this up with zinnias. I moved my pineapple out and kind of forgot about him, and I accidentally gave him a sunburn. So I tucked him under the peach tree, and hopefully he'll recover. I'm sorry, little guy. So the chickens got in here, other things have gotten in here and messed with my strawberries. So I was pulling weeds and trying to uncover the berries, and of 10 plants or 20 plants, I don't remember how many plants I had, I've only found 5 strawberry plants that are actually growing. The rest of them haven't opened up yet. You see my kohlrabi has gone to flower, and I'm leaving it for the birds and the bees. Maybe I'll try to keep the seeds. That spot where Fred had been originally, I've just got that covered. I'm trying to kill the weeds there, and I think, did I tell y'all this already? I think I'm going to put more of my tomatoes there. I've got a couple more T-posts, and so I think I might make that be a little tomato patch. We'll see. I can't tell if any of my asparagus have come up yet. See, I don't know. Is that my asparagus? Somebody tell me. Another thing, that paper that I put down, it was great to get this giant roll of free paper, but it was waxy on one side. And so now instead of breaking down, the waxy bit is just coming up and blowing all over the yard. So sometimes free things aren't always the best. But anyway, Rusty found his way in here before I put up that makeshift gate, and he found the peas trellising up the fence, and he ate them because he's a big jerk face. But here's one that is thunder. There's one bloom, and then I have one little sad raspberry. I put these sticks in the ground so that you could see. Here's a little, oh look, he's got a leaf. This is a thornless raspberry, and down here is a justaberry. Here's one strawberry. Buddy. This giant monstrosity is about to make flowers, and let me show you. Look at that. It's like hideously beautiful. Terrifying. These need to be dug up before the flowers go to seed, because this is getting out of hand. I'd like to grow stuff trellising up this fence too, but I can't since I have a giant yard dog. Let's see if the grapes are coming up. This one looks dead. Aha! Maybe these muscadines will come back. My husband cleaned out this bed and chopped them back quite a bit. And Rusty helps get in here and chop them back too. I think we might need to do something about our fence or something, or possibly just move them. Maybe if we move them inside that area over there, they would have a chance. Do you see all of these things that are blooming? These are dewberries. Dewberries are a blackberry that grows low on the ground, but they're big and fat and juicy. You see them all? Let's see if we can walk out there. So I really hope that we have as many berries this year, because this is amazing. They are thorny though. They're not fun to pick, but they're a little bit easier to pick than standard blackberries, which I'm going to show you where we've got a patch of standard blackberries too. This wild plum has never really given us much fruit, and when it does, it's not sweet. Isn't that pretty? I might pick a little bit of that for the bunny rabbits because they like it. Let's go look at the blackberry patch. I should have covered these beds so that the weeds and grass wouldn't take over, but I didn't. So I have my work cut out for me when I'm ready to start using these beds and adding compost to it. And also, when that storm came through, it pushed down or blew down or something. It blew down the fence, and the chickens came over and they found my peas. I see a few plants are surviving and I see one bloom. But yeah, they found the peas and helped themselves. Alright, so the dewberries are ready in May, and the blackberries are usually ready around June. And you can see this is a massive patch, and they're hard to pick because they're so thorny. You can't really get to them well. But our experience with blackberries on this property, at another property we had the most juicy, big, amazing blackberries. But these usually come up tiny and dry and just not even useful or edible. So we're really excited about the dewberries because those are easier to get to and worth it. And I'll probably get enough to even make jelly this year. But these are the blackberries. Hey, buddy. Hi. Some elderberries coming up. Why are you two out? Lots of elderberries out here, down towards the creek. I don't know that I should even try to propagate elderberries. I should just use what I have. Hey, Diana. Jungle chicken. What are y'all doing? See the bluebirds? No, you're not going with me. You've already had breakfast and second breakfast. You guys okay? Yeah. He's the lucky duck. Two ladies. Alright, we're gonna walk down to the creek. And if you don't have a Ford truck bed propped up in your woods, you're not redneck like me. I don't know. I need to watch where I'm walking because we have plenty of venomous snakes who will bite you. I love that bay tree. I got some tall pines. They are lightning rods. I think I need to take this bench back up to the house and refinish it. And I think I might put it in my garden because I don't use it down here as much as I thought I would. And maybe even bring those hydrangeas back up to the house. We'll see. Can you see the little minnows? This is our little creek that's fed from a spring that's further up on the hill on our property. This is a little wild blueberry bush. We have a lot of these all over our property, but we don't usually get very many berries off of them. I think it's just because they're in the shade. Everything's turning green. It's all about you, ain't it, Rusty? Why you gotta be so close? I did not get around to clearing out this bed. Is anyone surprised? You can see the milkweed is already putting on new growth on the established plants, and there are babies popping up everywhere. There's little baby oak trees too. There's a bunch of baby milkweed plants. Yeah, I should clean this up, but I don't want to. Bad. You done? Can I talk now? Can y'all guess what these are? Leave a comment below and tell me if you know what these birds are. Say hi. It's still my turn to talk. So here's what happened. It's not my fault. So we have a small feed store in our small little town, and my husband went there to get dog food, and they had sold out of all of their little chicks except for these two guys. And I think the reason that my husband was tempted to just go ahead and get them is because my rooster Fred died. I'm in denial still really about that. If you're new here, Fred is the rooster that is in my profile picture with my daughter and Rusty the mule. He's been the mascot of our farm, and he was Cassie's rooster. And I will show you a couple of pictures actually of her with him just to show you I'm not kidding when I say that he was her rooster. So the other night where I had him a pen that was set up over in my garden, I had mentioned that something got Ruby, and then I put Lucille over there and something got her. I thought that the pen was really secure, but apparently not. Something got him. I don't know how it got in the pen. There were no signs of entry, but he was beheaded, and he was about, I don't know, 30 feet away from the pen. And I think possums, I know, are one of the animals that will do that, that will kill a chicken and just take their head. And I know that's pretty gruesome, but that is part of farm life. I feel really guilty. I know that it's not my fault, and I know that really there's not that much more I could have done to make it more secure. I was doing the best I could for him and keeping him away from the other roosters that had taken over pecking order, and we're gonna beat him up if I had tried to leave him out there. Excuse me. Can I fix my hair? May I fix my hair? Do you mind? When I sent my husband a text and told him, you know, that I had found Fred and he was gone, and then he comes home and just we're going about our business or whatever, and I just happened to walk by on my desk. There's a box, and these two little ones were in the box. So my husband impulsively got me these chicks, and I don't want to say that I didn't want them, because look at them, they're so cute. But he got them because they were the last two at the store, And I probably would have done the same thing. Like, of course, you're going to bring home the last two little stragglers. If you haven't already guessed it by now, what these are white guineas. And if you don't know what a guinea bird is, look it up. They are weird looking. They are loud and obnoxious. They're the best guard dog for a farm. They will make the weirdest, craziest loud noise. They are like an alarm system. And they're supposed to be really good for eating ticks. We had guineas years ago, and we did not notice a decrease in ticks on our animals because of having them. So I don't know how well they did really, if that's a myth, or we just had more ticks than they could handle. So these two little ones, I anticipate, will be loud and obnoxious. And what do you think I should name them? Okay, now let's go look at what's growing under the grow lights. Okay, let's just go ahead and start with the first craziest thing, okay? The Big Blue House Homestead was showing different ways to grow sweet potatoes. And she showed one where she just stuck one in some dirt and tried to root it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do that. Grabbed one and stuck it in some dirt. And it took a while for it to root. But then one day I noticed the roots growing down in the soil. I had not noticed or paid attention to the fact that it had managed to make a vine. Pay no attention to the dust on the ceiling. I think that happened overnight. So I would say growing sweet potato slips by just sticking a sweet potato in some dirt is effective. Okay. I clipped some of my Confederate jasmine to see if it would root. I just did that yesterday, so I'm not surprised it's not rooting yet. But that is a gift for my cousin if it works out. She brought me some stuff the other day and we traded some plants. And this is some sage that she grew. I gave her a couple of my moringas and I up-potted the other two. And everybody's just in the way of everything. And I think I need to get them hardened off so I can move them outside. And then here is spearmint that I got. Actually, I also cut this from my cousin, same cousin. And when I was making clippings and moving things around, this somehow got missed. And it is a mess, but it smells so good. But I need to give it a trim so that it can get bushier and move it outside too. This is an orange bell pepper that she brought me. And then I've got two of my avocado, and she also gave me some Greek basil, which looks really good and smells amazing. I've got some more sweet potato slips that I need to hurry up and get my place outside ready for them. This is a pepper, and I don't remember what she said it was. It might be another orange bell. I'm gonna have to ask. Some of my mint, and now it is bushing up very nicely. She also brought me lemon balm and an aji dulce, I don't know how to say it, pepper, and my sweet potato slips that were just the little teensy weensy pieces that I just put them all in a jar. They are a tangled web of roots. I really need to separate them and give them some soil. I'm apparently trying to kill this catnip. More cuttings from my houseplant from in the window that I just decided to try to root some more, so that's in water. I'll go around here. Definitely trying to kill my stevia. That was a bad move on my part. I'm rooting some rosemary that also came from my cousin's garden. What is this? This is a little Hawaiian Kona pepper that I saved over winter, and it is taking off now that it's warming up and it's under these grow lights. So much stuff that needs to be up potted or moved outside. Ground cherries, these came from Miss Charlotte over at the Gulf Coast Granny, and they were wanting to put on flowers. Like, they need to get outside. I can't believe I've got cilantro growing. This is an artichoke that also came from Charlotte. I've got some borage that needs to go out. Amaranth. I can't believe it. I'm so happy my bachelor's buttons have sprouted. German chamomile, Gloriosa daisy. That's good because the ones outside have not come up, so hopefully I'll be able to at least transplant these out. Let's see, so Tangerine Dream has not come up yet. More Hawaiian Kona has popped up. I see some fish pepper trying to pop up. One Chinese 5-color, 2 Sugar Rush Peach, some jalapeno, that Pusa Joala hot pepper. What is this? I don't know what that is. More peppers. All the basil. All of it. I see one tiny lime basil is coming up. Lemon basils did really well. These guys will go outside soon. If not, I should probably up pot them quickly. Looks like I've got some dill. This is really funny because my tetra dill outside is coming up, but it's not in here. But outside, my fern leaf dill didn't come up, but it is coming up in here. So, remind me that next year this is what happened. Echinacea, toothache plant. There is a Shasta daisy. 2, 3, yay. Love in a Mist. Again, the ones outside haven't come up yet. More lemon balm. Can never have enough. Let's see what we have as far as peppers. These are my sweet peppers. Corbaci, pepperoncini, habanadas. Looks like kind of like only 1 or 2 have come up, but that's probably a good thing. Can you imagine if everything germinated? California Wonder Bell. Those have done well. What do we got? Banana peppers. 1 tiny mini bell mix. Corno de Toro. 3 of those. No of my micro dwarf Birdie Rouge tomatoes have come up yet. I will try those again. And we're back to basil. Okay, next shelf. So the tomato plants that I broke when I was planting them, they're in water and ready to be rooted in dirt. Mint, that water looks gross. That I need to put in dirt because everybody's already putting on roots so fast. I still haven't moved this artichoke outside. A crazy looking mess of celery. I should really do something about that. I think what I want to do is just up pot it and keep it in here under the lights instead of putting it out in the heat. But I probably should put him outside too so the bees and the butterflies can find him. Actually, putting him outside would be a good idea because that will free up space that I need, because I'm going to show y'all where I am finally going to start some radish seed microgreens and also some sweet corn microgreens. So I'll show you that probably in a short video at some point. And I see dirt on the wall. I'm such a messy gardener. More lettuce. Look at these flowers. These need to go outside. 3 comfrey plants. I see 1 little lavender that might be trying to grow, unless that's a seed that came from somewhere else. And marshmallows, these are things that need to be up potted. I actually have some of these that are going to go to new homes too, so I need to get busy. My continued to be forgotten onions. I've been cutting on this lettuce and giving it to the bunnies, and it just, the more I like chop it back, it grows back almost instantly. It's kind of ridiculous. This is a hedgehog aloe that my cousin gave me. My carrots, I wound up moving into these pots. I don't know why. And another avocado on the floor, because that's where we are now. We're sitting in the floor because there is no room for anything else. All over, oh, I'm probably blinding y'all. All over these shelves. They are full. So that's what's going on here in March. I can't believe it's the end of March already. So much changes so quickly now that we've gotten into spring. Let me know what's going on in your garden. How are you doing? Is spring trying to kill you also? Because all of the pollen, I can't stop sneezing and coughing. It's kind of annoying to want to be outside when outside is punching me in the face. Anyway, I hope that things are warming up for y'all, and I hope your gardens are starting to grow, and I want to see it. So show me in the comments below. If you have a video to share, put it in the comments below so other people can find you too and see your garden tours. And what else? And see you next time. Bye, y'all.